Now that we've taken a while and learned about your culture, it's time that we start learning about other people's cultures. People's cultures from before we were here, and other people's cultures now that we're here in the world. So let's start by talking about at the beginning of human beings. So most scientists believe that right here in the East African Rift Valley is where human beings started, where they evolved. And from there, they spread out to the rest of the world. Well, it's pretty easy to understand how they made it here into what continent? Sixth graders? Former sixth graders? Asia, right? I hope everybody got Asia. And how they spread out to Europe. And even with all these islands, how they got to Australia. What's a little bit more difficult to figure out is how they got to our part of the world, North and South America. As you see, there's a much larger sea here, and the problem is it's cold and icy, and there's not a lot to eat up here normally. So it's difficult to survive in that part of the world. So scientists have looked at this and said, okay, that's how humans spread out to all these areas, as you see with this map. They kind of spread all around. What happened is this was during an ice age, during the ice age. And you'll see that on the map, the ice had kind of sucked up a lot of the water, frozen a lot of the water in these ice caps and these glaciers, and basically sucked up the water from the bottom of the sea. So early human beings were probably chasing mammoths across this, and woolly rhinoceros and other prey, other kind of deer-like species, chasing them across here, and they basically walked along the bottom of the sea because there wasn't water there at the time. It was all in ice. And from there, they went south to warmer climates, by the way, and inhabited all of North and South America in the process. So you see, that's how human beings got here. Now, those human beings that originally came here about 15,000 years ago, we call them Native Americans. Which begs the question, how did everybody else get here? Well, we know famously about, we talked briefly about the Vikings arriving shortly after the year 1000, but they didn't stay. And we talk about Columbus. You've learned about Columbus through Columbus days earlier in your lifetime. So Columbus came in 1492, and you have Europeans. But that still doesn't explain a major theme of our class. Even though humans originate in Africa, how did Africans, other than people with African ancestry, hundreds of thousands of years in their past, how did Africans arrive in North and South America? And we're going to talk about that a lot this year.